Hi. Hey.
The point is that we normally don't record on today. Like normally we do record on Mondays, but it would be a week from today. But we didn't record last week because hours before we were supposed to record and stream, I lost power. And I lost power for 4 days, which was super fun. We had a grand total. I got some actual statistics. We had a grand total of 195,000 people lose power in Utah.
How many?
In Salt Lake, 195,000.
1,000.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. What was the other thing? Oh, we had winds of up to 110 miles an hour, which was super fun. Yeah, it was a great time. Just
It
going over to
sounds
friends'
like it.
houses and staying over there. My favorite thing, though, the funniest thing that happened was our friends got power back a day before we did, and they got power. Like we went on some errands to go get dinner and stuff because no power, so every meal we have to go get, and we go get food. And as we're pulling in the driveway, my friend goes, "Oh man, we still don't have power. Dang it!" And as she finishes her sentence, all the lights click on.
Yeah, no, I was joking with you saying that. Oh, that's basically the kind of like calling the call of the genie. Like, oh darn, there's no power. Yeah, and it just comes right on. Then she should go to your place and do the same thing. But then you got your power the day after. So how did everybody lose power? Were like the power lines all down? Like how many power lines were down? Do they have any statistics on that?
I didn't see any. All I know is there was extensive damage. I mean, there was even at our friend's place, there was a telephone pole, power pole, whatever that got like snapped like a twig. There was a lot. Like there was a lot of damage, but I don't have any statistics on that. Like you just look up like windstorm Liberty Park, Utah, and you will just see these massive trees that just got uprooted. And it's really sad because they're like huge trees and they're just gone.
Was there any major structural damage to houses in Utah, or it was just a lot of power lines?
Not that I know of. Most of the stuff I saw is like people losing shingles and stuff like that, but nothing like people's houses blown over or something like that.
Okay. Oh, before we move on,
who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. But also before we move on, with regards to very fast winds, right now, there is a Category 2 hurricane on its way to like Louisiana area. So as we're talking right now on the 14th of September, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, be safe. If you're in the path, get out of the path. Just be safe. Okay. All right. Going back to you, Quinnton. I'm glad you and your wife are safe. One of the jokes that one of the running jokes that we had was that you weren't going to be able to keep warm at night with all of your super thick blankets. But what was the first thing that you did when you got power?
Left for work. That was honestly.
Yay! I got power. Bye.
Yep, that was the sucky part. We got power, and I'm like, I gotta go to work. Never mind.
Okay, then. What was the first thing your wife did when
she baked?
Ooh.
First thing she did is she made cupcakes that like the main ingredient is zucchini, but they're chocolate cupcakes, and you can't tell.
The main ingredient is electricity. That's what she's been missing. That's why it's such a big deal for her.
I mean, you're not wrong, right?
Right? Yeah.
Whether it be the oven or the KitchenAid or whatever.
So are they the zucchini cupcakes, or are they the ready meals, or like the what are they called?
They're cupcakes that are like, they taste like chocolate cupcakes.
Really?
Right?
Interesting.
I could hand you a chocolate cupcake and a zucchini chocolate cupcake, and I guarantee you would never know which one. Your estimation on which one was the zucchini would be a pure guess.
I was gonna say, okay, guarantee is a strong word there. Like you
I
don't
can
know.
guarantee, dude. No, I'm not joking. Like it is because I'm a big guy about texture, like texture and like people saying
Sure.
like, oh, there were pickles on that sandwich, but I took them off. You enjoy the sandwich. Well, the sandwich is going to taste like pickles.
Yeah.
No, they're not on the sandwich anymore. Bull. No, there's still flavor there. So and like
Yeah, it's very small though. It depends
it's
on how
very
like
small, but it's there.
squished
Like I
it
can
was.
still.
Like if
That's
they
true, but
squished it, like get the juices out.
yeah, if they wring the pickles, um,
Right.
that's what you do with pickles, right? You just wring them
That's
out
what the
onto the
chef's doing.
sandwich.
La la la, ringing pickles. This is my job.
Anyway, normally like that kind of stuff where it's like, oh, you can't taste it. It's like, but I can, or I can feel the texture. And don't don't get me wrong. It's usually like hey, the texture's there. Don't lie, but I don't mind it. It's no, you literally cannot tell it's there. Like
I don't think anyone's lying. I think everybody's palate is different. Okay.
no, it's just the thing where they're like, you can't even taste it, and it's like, okay, I'm not against this, but yes, you can taste it.
So your
like,
concern is the subtle hyperbole of, oh, you'll never be able to taste the pickle of which the burger used to have, and that's your issue.
pretty much, yeah. Like just the
It's the same issue that
you can't.
It's the same issue that you have when people say, "Oh, I literally died over there." Like, no, you didn't. You're clearly not dead. You're clearly okay.
Hey, that one's at least
get you
not
on
as
that.
bad. This is the one where I'm just like, just say that like there's it's very subtle or something
But
like
it's
that. But don't
easier
say
not
it's not
to.
there.
It's easier not to say, because then you have to say like, okay, so you don't really taste the pickle, but it's there, but it's really not there. So it's really not something that you have to worry about. By saying that, oh, you can't even taste the pickle, will subtly and subconsciously tell the other person who might not be into pickles, hi, don't look out for the pickles. There's no pickles to have to worry about. And then you will enjoy the flavorfulness of the bacon and the cheese and whatever else that you have in your burger.
Well, I'll tell you what. Write it down, and then when you come out here, we'll make some cupcakes, and you can try this out. We'll put like 4 cupcakes, and all of them except for one will not have zucchini. And you can see if you can spot the one.
Oh, okay. So we'll do a little bit of our own taste test, and we're gonna see if if your guarantee is a true guarantee.
No, here's the funny thing is, in my opinion, you will be able to spot the one with zucchini, not because it had like, oh, that one has a different taste, or that one has something. It'll be like, all of these taste like regular cupcakes, but this one is super moist and just like flavorful and just full and rich, like super chocolatey. That's the one. Like that, my opinion, that's why you're going to notice. Not because it has zucchini or anything, but because it's like better.
Okay. Okay. So what is it about zucchini that makes it taste like chocolate?
Yep.
Good.
Oh, no, sorry. It tastes like chocolate? Oh, a ton of chocolate.
Wait.
The answer is what makes it taste like chocolate? Lots of chocolate.
So there is chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
There is a stupid amount of chocolate.
You kind of buried the lead there.
I did not. I said it was made out of zucchini. It's like to replace the flour part.
No. Okay. Okay. So someone who doesn't have the aptitude of a baker or is near a baker, or someone like Chef who can get baked goods at any beck and call. When someone says it's made out of zucchini, and you'll think that and you'll think that it tastes like chocolate, tells me there's no chocolate at all, right?
No, I didn't say you'll think it tastes like chocolate. I said you can't tell there's zucchini in it.
Okay, I see both sides to that. It's a little It was a little misleading. It was a little misleading. So if there
I think this is your fault.
I think you should rethink on how you're going to describe it. Don't say you can't just say it's made out of zucchini. You can't just say that. That's your problem. You can't just say that. It's got again, talking to someone who's not around baked stuff all the time. Yeah, you're changing the story. It's not made out of zucchini. It's made out of zucchini and chocolate, but you won't taste the zucchini.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, cool.
You can have it.
I freaking won an argument. Oh my God. All right, bye guys.
I'm curious.
It is one of the main ingredients.
Which one is more? Like, if it's zucchini or chocolate.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, there's 3 grams of zucchini and 5 pounds of chocolate. You'll never taste the zucchini.
Well, if you think about the
vat of chocolate, it's this vat of chocolate. They're just like, there you go.
if you think about the analogous to the analogy to a hamburger, if you have a fully loaded hamburger with a pickle and then you took away the pickle, yeah, I highly doubt you'll taste the pickle. Like I'm saying, fully loaded hamburger with the onions, the grilled onions, the peppers, the mushrooms, the cheese. I highly doubt you'll taste the pickles. But back to your point, we don't know the ratio of chocolate to zucchini. But
I'm gonna send off a.
Are you gonna send off a thought? Okay. Yes.
What?
Send off the question.
How much chocolate versus zucchini is there in your cupcakes?
While you figure that out, I do want to say one thing. It was a little, I wouldn't say scary, but just a little bit worrisome, because not only did you have power go out for your 4 days, but at least here in Northern California and like in Colorado and in Oregon as well, and Washington, we've got fires everywhere. So I really feel like every natural disaster that could go wrong. Oh, and apparently there was an Ebola outbreak in Lake Tahoe. So
that's great.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Every freaking thing that can go wrong is going wrong. So it's not like, oh, let's just move to Canada and we'll be fine. It's like, no, we literally have to go to like Venus. And apparently they found they apparently, according to the New York Times, they may have found proof that there is extraterrestrial life on Venus.
There's always
maybe a bunch of girls, because girls are from Venus.
It's always this though, right? Like we always have this conversation every year. It's just like they found proof of water on Mars, and it's like, but we found proof like a bunch of times. Well, this time it's different. Okay, how's it different? Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. But like to say it's a new revelation when we've kind of already established this, like I feel like we're burying the lead, as you would say, on this of like, no. Okay, we already established this water. What else? Give me something else. Give me like, hey, in the water we found there's
a monorail.
Blank. In the water is specifically a monorail, but the water's really small, so the monorail is like this big. But hey, if you need to get about a foot across, and you're about that size, you're gonna be traveling in style.
Got you. No, I think the discovery of things that we can relate to on other planets, that alone is interesting. But to your point, I get it, because it's like, okay, now what? What are we going to do with this information? And this is where the minds of science fiction comes into play, where we can think of, oh, well, we are running out of resources on Earth. Maybe they will have similar resources over here, or the ice caps are melting here. Maybe let's just kind of make a broad justification of water on Mars being so much to the water here. We'll just take the ice from Mars and bring it over here to kind of balance out all the water that we've lost. I don't know how science works, but that's more conversation, or at least that's more of a prompt than I've heard in the past year. But I have not. That's not a word. I have yet to hear of scientists finding life on another planet. It's always the moon or Mars. It's like one of the two.
Right.
There's a Nazi base on the moon, and there's life on Mars. Now there's apparently life on Venus, which again goes back into it's just a bunch of girls.
Those are vastly different things. Many moons ago, we talked about how we handle sickness at home, and how I'm very standoffish when somebody gets sick. If somebody gets sick, I'm just like, you stay over there. If I get sick, I'm like, you stay over there again. But I'm very keep your distance. I'm not gonna be around you while I'm sick or while you're sick. I don't want to get sick, and I don't want you to get sick. And you were saying if my fiance gets sick, I'll hold her and make her feel better or whatever. And I'm like, to my wife, I'm like, no, you stay over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious though, if anything has changed since COVID.
So not really, except for when we had the COVID scare, when we thought that maybe I had COVID, and then she was also presenting a little bit of signs of potential COVID, we quarantined ourselves together. Now, to your point, we did for a day. For a day, she slept on the floor, on a mattress on the floor next to the bed. So I had the whole bed, and she slept on the floor. Probably not fair, but especially with her back. But also, my back is just as bad, or maybe not as bad as hers. Either way, doesn't matter. The point is, by day 2 of the scare of the Hannides / Black family potentially having COVID, we relegated ourselves to stay in our room. She stayed on the floor and watched Netflix. I stayed on the bed and watched Netflix. When we ordered our food, her lovely son, would knock on the door, drop the food off, and then leave, and then we would go get our food. But by the time that she was showing that she was also kind of under the weather, which I don't know if it was actual sickness or sympathy sickness. We're like, all right, well, if you're sick, we'll have COVID together. And then she got on the bed next to me, and then we just held each other and stuff like that. And then we didn't have COVID, and also both of us just had like a 24-hour bug.
Right, but let's say if she had gotten sick,
yeah,
and you were feeling fine, would that have changed anything? Would you have stayed further away or anything like that?
It might depend. It might be a situation of, let's see how. If she came back and the test was positive, I would quickly go do a test. And if I came back, the test was negative, I think that's where I'd say, okay, let's just be safe. You stay in the room, and I'm going to sleep out here on the couch or wherever. But it was not a situation of I'm going to up and leave the house completely. Because unfortunately, unlike you, we don't have really any other place to go. We don't have friends.
You were gonna say friends.
We don't. Well, we
don't have friends.
We don't have friends nearby that have a space for us to crash at. We have friends they're just not nearby, or do not have futon / fold-out couch or sleeping bag. I'm sure they have a sleeping bag. But again, like I wasn't even thinking that far ahead. Like what it was let's wait. Let's wait for the test. Granted, the test results didn't show up until like Monday, but let's wait for the test results. And then we'll just see how we're feeling in the meantime. And by the time it was like Saturday afternoon, both of us were fine. So we were just on the precautionary side to say, okay, we're not going to talk or touch anybody else in the household, but at least with us two, we're fine. We felt fine.
Right.
And then come Monday, we were fine. So I get your point. I really do appreciate and applaud you and Maddie for saying, you know what? I love you. Get out. Like, I don't want you getting sick. And I don't want you giving it to everybody else, everybody else at the clubhouse. So I love you. Get out. I'll FaceTime you. I'm going to go play games now and rest for 12 hours.
Yep.
But like for me,
I understand totally, like, being in the same house. I just was more wondering, like, when somebody's starting to show signs of anything, if you were gonna start playing it different of, hey, you've got a cough, stay over there.
No, I can tell you pretty honestly, like, because I'm around kids, right? And kids cough, kids get sick. Their immune system is building as we speak right now. And I guess I'm kind of used to, and this is the difference between being a parent and no experience of being a parent. As a parent, you get sick because your kids get sick. And it doesn't make it right, but it's a fact. And
right.
I realize that right now I'm sounding very flippant of like, oh, I'll get sick and she'll get sick and we'll all get sick and it's not a big deal because it's just a thing that happens with parents. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm saying, like, if Estrella were to get sick, I have to be there to take care of her. And by that, I may contract the virus, and right. I may give that to Aurelia. I may give that to somebody else. And unfortunately, as parents, this is a thing that we have to deal with, and it's a thing that we have to handle. And there's no, I guess the right answer is right away quarantine, but it's easier said than done.
Right. You can also, like, especially with that scenario, I'd imagine you could do, like, just other precautions, right? Like masks and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can't exactly, especially when you're talking like a little kid. You can't exactly be like, go in the room, don't pee on the bed, please, thanks. Like, it's hard when it's a little kid. I mean, you got a 14-year-old. It's like, hey, go in your room. Here's an Xbox. Bye. But right. When it's, a little kid, you got to be there. But I guess you can do small precautions, just like, hey, got to wear a mask, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have the correct answer, if you will.
Ooh, I have a follow-up question. Speaking of masks and stuff, and not necessarily that conversation, but how's school going?
School is going actually a lot better than expected. So the teachers are still relegated to, like, doing everything over Zoom, and that doesn't make everything, like, picture perfect. But with respects to how it was for the past 6 months of the last school year, it's night and day. The last school year for the last 6 months was busy work and let's try and figure this out. So now that the teachers had all summer to figure this out, they have lesson plans, they have block schedules. So for the most part, it's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's not perfect. They are unfortunately still probably not learning something just because of the difference in classroom like interaction and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like when you were in class and your teacher would call on you, you kind of felt like you had to talk, or maybe you even had somebody else in your classroom that you always wanted to one up. But over a Zoom call, I don't know if that feeling is still there. And for whatever reason, when it's a camera pointing at people, they freeze up. So it's also likely that the kids aren't as outgoing as they would be in the classroom. I know Nicholas, Aurelia's son, hates it. He's dealing with it and he likes how it's turned out, but comparative to an actual going to school, he hates it.
See, are you guys doing the because I know with my sister-in-law, she's doing school and stuff, and what I've seen has been really working for her in that exact scenario is she's actually been going over to like she gets her little friend group and they all get together to do the Zoom classes together, because it's like a trusted friend group and that kind of thing, whatever. But they actually get together and they'll go to each other's houses and like do the Zoom classes there and like do school together, but in small groupings.
Well,
has Nicholas tried anything like that?
I can tell you Nicholas does not do that. I don't know if we've ever even broached that as an option.
It's an idea.
It is an idea, and I will get back to you. Because I know he's getting very stir crazy. I mean,
it definitely helps with that.
Yeah, because he's I mean, the nice thing about it is that he has a computer that can handle the Zoom calls, and when he's done with the Zoom calls, he will open up Among Us or Rust or League of Legends or just Discord and mute himself in the Zoom call and go BS on the Discord. And like at least he has that to have that communication and that lifeline to talk with his friends. But yeah, it's definitely not the same. I like the idea of the trusted friends. And I feel like he is old enough in which we can trust that it is just going to be 2 or 3, maybe 4 friends tops, where they're all together at somebody's house doing the homework together. And I'm sure the teachers would be okay with that as long as the respective parents were okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's the teacher's decision on that one. I think that's up to the parents.
Okay, right, but the teachers are still going to be teachers, right? So, like there are some schools where the kids have to wear their uniform while they're on Zoom calls, for example. Yeah, I know it's stupid.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Now, Estrella has a uniform. She does not have to wear it, but she wants to wear it because it makes her feel like she's in school. Like, and that's okay.
If it's
her
if you
choice.
Want to go
she
for
wants
it,
to, yeah. But Celeste's boyfriend's kid has to wear a uniform, and it's like, no, you don't tell my kid that he has to wear. He's in his pajamas at 8:30 in the morning at home. That's what he's gonna do, and he's doing homework. So just back off. But if we were to
just create like a green screen effect that forces a uniform on.
It's like totally perfect right here, but the second that you move, it's like, wow, what happened? Like, oh no, the immersion.
No, what you do, here's the answer: is you wear a green shirt, and then the background that you choose is that it's just a repeating pattern of the shirt. And
so no matter where you go,
it works better if it's like plaid.
No matter
works
where you
better
go,
if it's plaid.
Yeah.
It works so much better if you can get the plaid effect or something. So like the plaid stays still, but you move.
That's a
that
great
old
idea.
like cheap cartoon effect.
That's a great idea. I love it. But yeah, I will bring that up to Aurelia and see what she says, and maybe she can reach out to those parents. Nicholas, if you're watching, this is not guaranteed. All right. This is not. I can
Don't get any
almost.
ideas.
I can almost imagine hearing. Doom, 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 doom. Door swings open. Really? Like, no, calm down. 1 second. Hold on. Like, we haven't figured anything out yet.
We got to figure this out first. No, it's an idea. It only works in certain scenarios, and your scenario might not be that one.
Yeah. You know, Chai says, I would never think of that. Yeah, Chai, his idea is very reminiscent of those glasses that have eyeballs on it so you can go to sleep. It's like, oh, it's immersion. No matter what. Like, if you go like this, you're still wide awake. You're still wide awake, right? It's just kind of leaning off to the side. That's all. That's all.
See, my wife had to, speaking of like tricks like that, my wife had to do, she's doing some phone calls for work. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. She's doing phone calls for work right now from home. And for like the week of training, she had to also be on camera just for the training team. Just like she didn't have to have the microphone or anything, but like they had to have a camera, which not going to worry about, whatever. But I was telling her, I was like, you know what you should do? You know, you should still work. You should still make the calls because your pay is based on the calls that you make and stuff. So you can't exactly fib that. But what you should do is you should one day record an entire day of you on camera and then just play that back as your webcam. So when people are looking, oh, is she? Yep, she's doing her thing. And like you have a little just more privacy than just being in front of someone at all times.
OBS virtual cam can do that for you. Yeah, no, if you, if she doesn't like, if we've learned anything from heist movies, you don't have to record a whole day. You just record 5 minutes of a loop, and it has to be a perfect loop, and that's it.
Yep.
So she just has to, like you and I, just look at the camera for like 10 seconds. I mean, we're not going to because that's 10 seconds of dead air. But if we were to do that, then for 10 seconds, we are attentive and we're ready to work. And if we're called on, then we're screwed.
So that's why you get a fade. So like you have, and you wear the exact same clothes, obviously, because that would look really weird. But,
obviously.
You have yourself here and you have yourself doing your thing. And then if you're called upon, you hit a quick fade and you do it as fast as you can. Or better yet, you have it like a snap. So that way it looks like, oh, the camera just jerked. You know, it was Zoom. The Zoom dropped a frame. No big deal.
No big deal.
It was Zoom's fault. Nothing changed in reality.
I would love it. Like if I were to try this for our next conference call, because we have a conference call in about 24 hours. So I would love to try this out. But then Windows would somehow screw it up. And instead of looping and repeating the same video, it would go to a different video. And all of a sudden, you look at my stream or my video in the Teams chat, and it's like of something completely different. Like, Tony, are you still there?
You streaming Apex, Tony? And you screaming.
Yeah, right? Because virtual cam actually does allow you to choose not only if you want to use your webcam, but it also allows you to choose the Elgato. So if you and I, not to say that we ever would do this, because we would never do this, but if you and I were playing Ground War, our boss Justin
during the conference call,
Tony, are you there? Yes, I'm here. Did you get that kill? Yeah, I got the kill. Tony, I'm gonna call you afterwards.
Your head in shape. Yeah.
Like, damn it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Does it help if I say I'm sorry?
Does it help to say if I got positive KD? You know what it is? You know what it is? Like does it help if I were to say I will play PUBG with you later today? Because he loves PUBG on PC.
Right.
So that
would be. Do you have it for PC?
I have it for PC. I just never play it because I don't have any other friends that have it for PC. All of my other friends that have it are on console, and the other
I have it for PC. I just haven't launched it.
And the other like people that I know that have for PC, are amazing. And I'm like, no, hold on, 1 second. Was da, and E. What does E do? Oh no, I need to like I'm still learning all the commands for PUBG and all the macro keys for PUBG. So I know you have it for PUBG, but I the reason why I haven't brought it up to you is solely because I'm just scared. I'm
And
just,
also, you have other games you want to play.
yeah, and the other two games that I have for PC are Microsoft Flight Simulator, which barely runs on this machine, and I also I need a yoke. Is this the yoke or is that the joystick? I need a yoke for Microsoft Flight Sim, and also Fall Guys.
You come out here in October.
I think you're
and
green
you
screening
figure
wrong.
out this.
Okay, you pay for everything then, and I'll come out.
Hey, you got a new sub, right?
No, this is
It's
an
Richard.
old sub. This is the subwoofer that I got installed was from 2010.
Hey, there you go.
It's been sitting in the garage since then. It hasn't been in a car since 2010, so 10 years. I finally got it installed.
Oh, and it's usable?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised there wasn't any damage for just sitting.
I don't know. I don't know how subwoofers work, but I was very careful in regards to storing it, and it sounds great. It sounds phenomenal.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Sack says subs don't have an expiration date, guys. I know they don't have an expiration date. It was this guy who said that he thought that the sub would get.
I wasn't thinking they have an expiration date. I was thinking that's sitting in his garage or something, and it's sitting, right? So you have possible humidity, possible heat, possible cold.
All those
I was
things
thinking
would happen
over the
in
course
a car,
of
though.
10 years. Well, yes, but it's a garage. It could be hit by I know these things can happen in a car, but I'm just saying it's a different environment, right?
Not by much.
The car is
though.
at least closed.
A garage
I'm
can
just
be
saying,
closed.
It's 10 years of sitting, not in a car at all.
Whatever
I'm
the case,
surprised nothing happened. Period. Whatever the case is, you have a functional
subwoofer.
Subwoofer for free because you already had it. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Actually, the only reason why I bought it was because the subwoofer before that was stolen out of my trunk of that car.
Oh,
yeah. Which was
your new car, isn't it?
Yeah. So the subwoofer that I bought in 2010 was purchased because in 2010 a subwoofer was stolen out of the trunk of my car.
Lovely.
Yeah. And what makes that kind of sad for me was that I built that box with a friend of mine who knew how to build boxes, and we built it to the configuration of the car that I had at the time. And luckily, not luckily, but thankfully, when I went to go sub shopping, I found one that was of similar nature, very thin profile, and it worked out to be very good. And our buddy Sack said the JL is better quality. And Sack, I don't know which brand that I had before. It wasn't Alpine, thank God, but it also wasn't Kicker. I don't know who I had before. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Of subs, I was driving somebody else's car. I was driving an Acura, I think it is. And
It's
I was
called
looking
a
at
Honda. Thank you very much.
Pretty sure it was an Acura.
It's the same company. That's why. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
And I was messing around because I was like, man, the bass is terrible. It's so bad. And I was looking through the settings oh, maybe the bass is turned down. It's hey, the bass is turned up and also there's a subwoofer. And I'm like, you're lying. If there's a sub, it's the worst. What?
So that's where I would turn to our friend Sack and say, is it the amplifier that sucks? Or is the sub itself blown? It could be that the sub itself is blown. It could be a number of things. But I know for me, before I got the subwoofer in my previous car to the one that I have now, one of my side speakers was rattling, and I got used to it so much that the rattle kind of became part of the music. You know what I mean? Like, I just drowned it out. No, I just drowned it out. Like, it was so much that it was white noise. I'm like, oh, well, that's just something that is always there, and it's no longer anything that I need to like worry about or anything that needs to be draw my attention to. The only time that anything would draw my attention to it is if somebody said something about it, which would be if they were sitting in the passenger seat and we were listening to, like, I don't know, anything. Yeah, anything that required a little bit of bass.
Maddie constantly has a bad habit of taking her Rockstar cans or whatever and putting them in the passenger door, and they're the perfect size just to, like, when any sort of bass hits, they just rattle. They just constantly rattle. And I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, you have a can in the door, don't you? And she's like,
you mean an empty can?
Yep.
An empty can.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the fuller it is, the less you'd hear, but yes.
I want to be specific just to make sure that we are talking about the same thing.
Yeah, like an empty soda can or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but the point is that I can hear it rattle, and she's like, you can't hear it rattle. And I'm like, then why is it every single time I call it out and it's always there?
I don't have
she's
that.
Like, fine.
I don't have that specific issue, but I do have a garage opener, automatic garage opener. And it has the clip so I can put it on my visor. That clip itself is loose or something. It vibrates. So even though my car is a hybrid, and when the engine is quote unquote off, it shouldn't vibrate anything. There's this really tiny little, and I was like, what the heck is that? And it's like an apex. Where's that sound coming from? I can't tell. Is it right in front of me? No, it's over there. Nope. And apparently it was the vibration of the garage opener. So I have removed it from my visor, and there's no more vibration issue. I honestly thought it was something in
hot glue it. You'll be fine.
I thought it was something in the glove compartment, maybe like, a pen hitting the side of inside. I was like, I couldn't figure it out. And then Aurelia gets in the car and she's like, yeah, no, it's right there. It's that. And I took it off. Silence. It was wonderful.
Okay. Yes. Tell me about your stupid $100 trash can that seals itself, which is a problem for no one, but you go right ahead.
Okay. So, I have
been not a problem for anyone, but continue.
All right. Calm down. Pump your brakes. All right. So, as you know, I have a tech review channel. And on that channel, I tend not to review the mainstream products like like a new phone from Motorola, the iPhone, computers, for a number of reasons, mainly because I can't afford all those things. So I review the lesser known products, but recently I have been not fooled necessarily, but I have been going down rabbit holes of being inspired by Instagram sponsored ads to purchase products for me to test out for that channel. Case in point, the pod deck. This was an Instagram ad that came across a couple of times, and was it a month and a half ago, I went ahead, pulled the trigger, got the pod decks. They're fun. They work on this podcast. They work in the stream. It's great. And the owner of Pod Decks is sending both of us some new decks to test out. So that's one. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to be that guy that will try and test all of those ads that you see come across your Facebook and Instagram as much as I can afford to review it as a tech review or a a content creator's review, hence the pod decks, because that's not really tech. Although they do have an app. But anyways, I digress. At 1:40 in the morning, I was here at my office. I believe I was playing games with you. I don't really remember. It might have been just by myself. Nevertheless, Aurelia sends me a message. She's usually asleep at that time. And it was a TikTok / sponsored post of an automatic opening trash can, which we've all seen. We've all seen this. But not only did it automatically open for you, once you're done, once it hits the level in which that the trash can itself is full, it automatically sanitizes itself with the blue light, the UV light, and it seals itself. And then when you take the bag out, it automatically puts a new bag in. So yes, it does have its own battery in it, and it does all these smart things. Yes, you are correct. Very few people, because no, you cannot say nobody ever has this problem, but very few people have the issue of taking out a full bag and putting in an empty bag. But also, I was looking at it from a point of view of a tech reviewer to say, this is pretty cool tech. It's getting a lot of eyeballs, so I will review it. And then also I have a $100 trash can as an icebreaker to say, this is something silly that I have in my house. Is it the solution for everything and gonna end world hunger? Hell no, of course not. But it got your mind going of that's a really stupid purchase to make, but now we can talk about stupid purchases. But that's why I bought it. It wasn't just to have a $100 trash can. It was for a tech review.
I mean, I can understand why you did it for a tech review, but goodness, like, well, of all the things, a self-sealing trash can. No, you said it automatically filled bags.
Mm-hmm. So there's a
how much are these bag refills? Because usually they're proprietary.
Yeah, so it is proprietary, and I believe it comes with 25 bags, and they're about $1 a bag.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's not the cheapest solution, obviously, especially, compared to something very simple like this. These dollar store, so these were $1. They came in a pack of 50. This, very basic.
I'm surprised you don't do the grocery bag thing.
What's the grocery bag thing?
You go get your groceries. Oh wait, but you have to pay for your grocery bags, don't you?
So we don't do grocery bags. Like when
you take your own.
We always forget. Honestly, we just forget.
So you just carry your stuff?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. That's fine.
It's we just carry our stuff, and once we get home, if we have a lot of stuff, once we get home, we'll knock on Nicholas's door. He'll come out and help carry stuff into the kitchen, and then we're done. It's not a big deal. If we had flights and flights of stairs, then yeah, it would be a big deal, and I would probably get a lot better about bringing the reusable bags. But right now, there are locations that won't even let you use the reusable bags for safety purposes,
Right.
So we would have to pay 10 cents a bag. And, as you were scoffing at, that adds up.
No, I'm not scoffing. Like, I forgot that you guys have to pay. Like, genuinely, I just forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just use the little trash bag. Like, we use them as trash bags, but I also noticed yours are nicer though. Like, those 10 cents go a long way, because I've the number of times that I've been out to California when I've gotten groceries, the trash bags are just a little thicker, just a little better.
Yeah. I mean, 10 cents per bag isn't too bad. There are places like England, for example. I believe it's 25 pence per bag, which is way more than 10 cents. It's about 30 cents. So for 3 times as much, you get the same bag. from Waitrose or Sainsbury's, and it's like,
that'll add up real
sucks.
quick,
That
especially on
adds
a
up
large grocery
very
order.
quick. Yeah, oh, yeah, totally. No, actually, yesterday was the first time that I had actually used the feature in which you can order ahead and then drive up to Target and you let them know that you're there, and then they just bring the stuff out to you. It was the first time that I actually had done that with more than just one item. Because before I did that with just dog food, but yesterday I did it with dog food and a slew of other stuff, and it was wonderful. Like, oh, I don't have to go inside; they come outside to me, and they come with bags, and I didn't have to pay for them. So I don't know if that's a loophole that I found, but I found a loophole. Order ahead and curbside pickup, free bags.
Yeah, Smith's, the local Kroger here, they've been doing curbside for a while, and it's amazing. I mean, especially if you have like a large order, you don't have to spend an hour at the store. You just drive up, give me my groceries. Okay, bye.
I mean, there are some things I know people like to get themselves, like the fresh fruit or the fresh vegetables. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that there's gonna be, especially like your wife. She, her loving to choose her own ingredients for the food that she bakes for you. She probably wants to have, okay, I'm speaking for her obviously, but she might want to have a little bit more say in what she's paying for. But for other things that just come in packages, I could give a rat's ass about.
Surprising is we actually do like fruit and meat and stuff like that from them. We've only, I think out of the, I don't know, let's say 30 times that we've used the service, there's been like one time that we were like, who chose these?
Okay.
But like they're people who do this every day.
Right. Like it's
and
their
they know,
job or
like,
something.
Yeah, they know that it's going to make the service fail and like cause issues if you just grab, oh, you need 3 avocados. I'm just going to grab the first 3 and just be done.
That's true.
All you're going to do is create more work for you, because like the customer is going to come back in and be like, these avocados suck. I need different ones.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good
So
point.
like, yeah, every time we've used it, it's been amazing. The only time, what's funny is the only time it didn't work out well, or the only time it ended badly, is the lady, I think it was like her first day on the job or something, and so I feel for her if that was the case. But like, we said we need a head of lettuce, and she brought out like a stalk of lettuce. Like, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like something else, but I remember just like seeing it and just being like, what happened? This is not that. She's like, oh yeah, we were out of lettuce, because I don't know what was going on, but they were legitimately out.
Okay.
And so she substituted with something completely different. And I'm like, no. Like,
she meant
and
well,
that's the great
I'm sure.
thing is like, they'll try to make educated decisions of like, do you want to sub, like, hey, we didn't have this, but this will work, so I'll sub you this or something. But like, this was one of the times where it was like, you saw the stuff and you're like, you've never done this before, have you?
Yeah, but so when they have to substitute something, do they tell you like in the app? Like,
Yes.
hey, by the way, like they send you a message.
Usually
in the app?
they'll, so at least for us, if I remember correctly, because I don't usually put the orders in, you can say even per item, like, no substitutions versus yes, you can find something. And then when they bring out your groceries, they'll say, hey, we sub these, is that okay? And you can make a decision there. And if not, then they'll take back the substituted items. And the nice thing is like, for example, we needed cream cheese, so we ordered 1 cream cheese block, and all they had left was 2 packs, and they're like, hey, we had to sub the 2 pack, so we're only going to charge you the 1 pack price.
That's really nice of them.
Yeah. No, they really like take care of you. And they were first starting the service like when it first came out, which was like, I think late last year or something. They brought out little goodie bags that had like a banana and a bottle of water. Like, hey, thanks for trying this out.
Well, that stuff like that goes a long way.
Yep.
You and I both know that. with our job.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like
Yep.
that goes a long way. Yeah, but I think I'm going to continue using that curbside pickup option, because the other supermarket by us, which is called Rayleigh's, unfortunately, it's not a same day pickup. It's a 24-hour pickup, which is,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. They don't have as many people as Target because it's a smaller location, but also it costs something as well too. It's like $4 to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a little bit fresher ingredients though. That's the place where I would say, okay, if you want fresh this or fresh that, then maybe go with Rayleigh's, or
Are they
maybe
a Kroger?
no, they're not a Kroger. I don't know who owns them. But if like Safeway, for example, if we had a Safeway close to us, which do we? I don't know. I haven't been to a Safeway in a very long time, which is like a Vons. But if we had one of those closer to us, we might use them for the fresher stuff to just pick up, because
Right.
I now love the idea of just swiping through my phone, getting the things that I need, and not being distracted by anything else, not having to deal with anybody else, not being susceptible to buy anything else, and just spending the money that I need to spend and just getting out.
Really surprised that you are just now getting into this stuff. Honestly, like, no offense or anything.
No, I'm
just more
surprised too.
How's this like your first run?
Honestly, it's my first run solely because every time that I want to buy something, I need it now. Like, not now in 4 hours, because it takes Target about 3 to 4 hours to get everything ready. It's not that I
Right.
need it like in 4. I need it now, so I have to go.
Right.
So
Right.
with yesterday, I planned to go to Target, and I said, you know what? Instead of going and wasting time and possibly getting sick, I'm just going to pull out my phone and do the thing. It's free, and then I'll get Target Circle points or whatever the frick that is, and then I'll be done. And it was glorious. It was wonderful. So as long as we can plan ahead, and that's the big thing, as long as we can plan ahead, and then we can
Right.
kind of stick to that. Do you guys make a list ahead of time, or do you just make a list as you're like going through the app? Like, bread. Do we need bread? I don't know. Let me go check. Like, do you have that list?
We'll even go to the point of like, not me, but Madison will go into the app and like, let's say we're going in, she'll still go in the app and like make a grocery list in app, because it breaks it down by aisle. And so we can be more efficient when we get there of like, okay, aisle 10, that has bread and this and this and this. Cool. We need to make sure we get those 4 items on the list when we go down aisle 10. So yeah, we make a list before. I mean, obviously, when you go in the store, you usually end up with more than you bargained for, but we try to be efficient because we don't like spending time at the store.
Right, but we're not talking about going into the store. I'm talking about like when you're using the app for curbside pickup. Do you make this list as you're using the app, or you say, okay, we need to pick up our food now. Let's pick up our food. Open up the list. Open up the app. Match what's on the list. Check out. Wait 4 hours. Then go pick up. Or are you on the app and just scrolling through? Oh, zucchini, we need that. Scroll through. Oh, bread, we need that. Scroll through. Like, which one are you?
I think it's not me, but I think what it would be is, okay, we want to do the sausage dish this week. Okay, so search. Okay, we need avocados. Cool.
So
we
you
need red
you
sauce.
guys have a vague, you have a loose plan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're not just errantly just scrolling until we see something we like. We search for the things.
Okay.
I like that you're going to start using this. It's going to be fun.
I
want to hear, especially because I haven't done it with Target. I want you to order some produce and see how they do. I'm very curious.
Okay. I think to your point, the pickers, if we can call them that, the pickers will, after many moons of doing this, especially with COVID, I'm sure the pickers are much better at it than I'm giving them credit, because you're right. If they picked just the first thing that they saw and it was crap, and they did that enough, they would probably, get a write-up, or the whole system would just not work. But if they actually put a little bit of effort into it, hopefully they put a little bit of effort into it, and like, okay, what would I pick if this were for me? I'm going to pick this tomato versus that tomato. Then yeah, maybe they are just as good as your Kroger's or whatever you have over there. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching here on Twitch, twitch.tv/LazyTechTony. I think I don't know. We're still figuring out if we're going to have a separate channel for this or not. But in any event, if you want to watch this after the fact, it's on YouTube, youtube.com. Still recording. Still recording is one word. If you're looking up still recording podcast, still recording is one word on YouTube. It's weird. It sucks. It is what it is. But then also we are on Instagram and in Reddit as well too. And for people who want to follow you, Quinnton, where can they do that?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitch and Xbox at Firewall.
You guys can find me at those places under Lazy Tech Tony, just like my gamer tag. We also have a Discord server, and in that server is a channel specific to this podcast where you can talk about the things that we've talked about here. It'd be awesome, and great feedback for the future, for future topics and future episodes. It'd be great to see you guys have conversations about what we talked about today. $100 trash cans and zucchini chocolate ratios. It'd be amazing. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Heart.